In the world of podcasting, there are those who are already famous and those grinding their way to the top. These are the stories of a couple of nobodies.
And welcome, folks, to what will be the first episode of the Irrelevents you've ever heard. I'm here with Seth, Judd.
Yeah, I'm also here with Nick Cooper.
Hey, how are you doing? Great to see you guys, or talk to you guys.
Yeah, and I'm Cameron McCann.
That didn't work out.
I was hoping you'd introduce me, Cooper, and then I'd just...
I'm so sorry.
Let's try this.
Let's do that again.
Let's try this again.
No, fuck it, whatever. Let's just keep going.
No, honestly,
Okay.
let's try it again.
Let's try it
It'd
again,
be
yeah.
funnier. It'd be funnier.
Let's do it again.
Okay.
I didn't realize we were going. I thought everybody mentioned. Never mind.
Okay.
Alright, this is a shit show already.
So, welcome to the first episodes of the Irrelevents. I'm here with Seth Judd,
And I'm here with Nick Cooper.
And I'm here with Cameron McCain.
and we're going to be bringing you the hits today, folks.
Before we start our show, I just wanted to mention that today we are sponsored by Robinhood, the great investing app for investing in the stock markets. And our friends at Robinhood want you to know that it doesn't matter if you have $100 or $100,000. Everybody should be able to invest, unless, of course, you want to invest in GameStop.
Oh yeah, dude. The markets are going crazy right now, man. This is one of the most insane things I've ever seen. You know,
I find it to be the funniest thing I've ever seen. I find it so hilarious how I've never seen something like this before in my life.
I mean, I being not immoral but amoral person, just want to figure out when the right time is to actually short GameStop, because it's not a Fortune 500 company. They
Yeah.
just declared bankruptcy.
Yeah, I'm just avoiding like a 10-foot pole. Like, you guys can take the risk.
Yeah, man.
I'm certainly not interested in that kind of risk. It's like I would have done it had I known, but I missed the boat. I'm not taking that sort of risk now.
yeah, man. It's just too risky, too volatile right now. You know, I mean, in a matter of hours, you could lose everything.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You could. I mean, we were talking in podcast -1. We were talking about Bitcoin prices and
Oh,
how
yeah.
expensive Bitcoin is right now, which is insane. It's like $30-some thousand.
Yeah, little do we know, Dogecoin would explode like crazy. GameStop would explode. Was it Nokia is also one of
I
the
think
ones?
it's
Is
AMC
Nokia
too.
Yeah,
coming back?
AMC,
Yeah,
Nokia,
AMC's
a whole
gone
bunch
up.
of them.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that.
AMC like quadrupled though, like not like the massive growth that AMC's seen or not GameStop has seen.
Yeah, where it went up tenfold, which is insane.
Yeah, speaking of the negative podcasts, so this is actually the third one we've done for the Irrelevance. We ran into some technical issues earlier on. That's why this is episode 3, technical issues, as it were. So we were recording with USB mics before, and the quality was incredible. Sounded really good, but we kept running into this audio sync problem. We were trying to sync the two tracks. There was like an audio drift, you know. It was just a mess. But now we're running it through a Yamaha mixer, an MG10/2. We got some XLR mics, and hopefully it sounds good to you people.
Yeah. I mean, this is early on, so maybe the sound quality isn't exactly where we want it to be, but it's a learning process.
It's a journey. It's a journey, folks, and we're glad to have you with us for this journey.
And also, while we're on this point about the mixer, I think Cam and I talked about this a little bit. Want to give a quick shout out to Atomic Music,
Oh yeah. The guys over there are really cool. You know,
Yeah.
really helped us find what we needed.
located in Laurel, Maryland. It's a great place. Whether you're trying to get into podcasting or you just like music, maybe recording music, live
They got
music.
it all, man. They got it all. It's
Yeah.
crazy over there.
And the people who work there are incredibly friendly people. You should check it out.
Hell yeah. So, what do we talk about on this episode? Because most of the day has just been a rush getting everything set up, waiting for shipments to come in. Now that we're actually here, what do we talk about?
I have no idea.
I guess just anything really.
Let's talk about gaming. Cooper, you just got a new gaming rig. Tell
No,
us a little about that.
I'm in the process of getting a new gaming rig. The CPU broke when I was transferring over from my other PC, so I got to buy a brand new PC and motherboard. But no, yeah, I'm really excited for it. I've got most of the parts, just like one of the most important ones I'm missing. But once I get that in like a week, I'll get my new gaming rig set up. I'm pretty hyped for it.
Dude, PC is the way to go. In the car on the way up, Cooper and I were talking about how with the Xbox Game Pass, it makes no sense to buy an Xbox Series X or whatever.
I mean,
Because
Yeah,
everything's
'cause it's all-
transferable with
it's-
PC,
yeah,
where
it's
you
all
can play
available
it
on
with a
PC.
better frame rate.
I think that Microsoft realizes that, and I think that the Xbox Game Pass is in response to Luna and Stadia, because with 5G rolling out, I mean, streaming games is going to become the new norm.
Well, it's not streaming though. You download it. They have another service in which they stream it called the xCloud, and so that's a whole separate thing that they're doing.
Well, yeah, I understand that with Xbox Game Pass, but I think they're trying to not focus so much on hardware.
Well, yeah, because I mean, the way I saw it, I felt like they were just like playing directly to their strengths because the last generation they were just getting clobbered by like Sony, and they sold them like outsold them like 2-1, which is insane. But I think they just realized like oh yeah, we're selling our Xboxes like shit, but now that we do have like the most popular operating system for computers in the world. We have hundreds of millions of people who use them. Like,
Yeah,
why don't we tap into that?
just
So
makes sense.
But
yeah, it just makes sense.
I think that
Sony doesn't have that.
if you're taking it from like a sort of market strategical standpoint, with Amazon and Google, getting into the gaming market, Sony and Nintendo are small fish compared to Microsoft. Like, so small, it's unbelievable. They're
Yeah.
worried about Google and Amazon getting into the pool.
Yeah, that being said, though, they are killing it when it comes to exclusives. The only reason I would buy a next gen console is to play the PlayStation exclusives.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Same with Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean that's why I bought a Switch, because it's a good piece of hardware. It's a fun piece of hardware. It is not the most advanced piece of hardware. My
No,
PC can run anything better than it, but
I
it
mean,
can't.
it's
it
a literal
can't run-
tablet. Yeah.
It can't run Mario though.
Well, I mean, I think the most important selling point for me for a Switch was just the portability of it. You can play all of it like on the go too, which is
Yeah.
like just super unique. It's like oh, why buy Skyrim again? Oh, I can play on the go. Like
You do
know.
take that hit to frame rate, but it's worth it to play Skyrim on the go.
I mean,
or
yeah,
Doom
Sony,
or whatever.
Nintendo's not really giving a shit about like the actual hardware specs or anything like that. They just care about like the actual software itself.
What do you think's next for Nintendo?
I don't know. I feel like they can't go back to like just separating the handheld and the console spaces like separately. Like I feel like they've.
Will there even be handhelds in the future? I feel like with
I think
iPhones
so.
and everything, what kid doesn't have an iPad to play with?
I feel like
No.
iPhones have been out there for over 10 years now. If it would have killed the gaming market, it would have done it by now.
But it kind of did kill handhelds. They're gone.
the Switch is like the best selling console like 3 years running in a row.
That's
that crossover.
yeah, that's a crossover between handheld and console though. But
Yeah, that could be the new
handhelds is-
future. I don't know. I really
is
don't.
gone.
I mean,
seems to be.
and also I think the question about what is the future for Nintendo, I've got no fucking idea. I mean, they went from the GameCube to the Wii, which is suddenly motion controls, and then with a Wii U, where they gave you that stupid pad that nobody gave a shit about,
Yeah.
and then suddenly
Yeah.
they had a console that you could take into 5 different parts. They kind of just do weird shit. While they let Microsoft and Sony dick it out over who has the coolest box.
yeah,
Yeah. It's going in a different direction. Well, you know what they've been doing recently, which I think might be an indication of what they're doing in the future? They're allowing you to buy Control, like this new game called Control, which is like a really, like big AAA, like sort of console type game, but you can't play it locally because like it's too intense, but they let you stream it now on the Switch. So they're offering streaming capabilities for the Nintendo Switch.
So Nintendo's trying to get
How?
into that as well.
dude,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know about this streaming revolution, man. Whose internet quality is good enough for that?
Nobody's right now. But when 5G rolls out, I mean, because the broadband is going to be exponentially better.
Yeah.
I actually had a guy who works in that kind of field explaining it to me, and it's not like a linear system where 5G is one better than 4G. It's an exponential system. 5G is going to have so much more broadband than 4G ever did.
And to go back to that argument though, you're saying, oh, how do people have like the internet now? I mean, I remember back in when the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 first launched, and they were saying, oh man, we have HD capabilities. Nobody had an HD TV back then either. There's like, what's the point? People were like, what's the point of
Yeah,
having
but
an HD
it's easier to-
console and
it's
they
easier
can't
to
even have an
switch
HD?
out
It's like
your
in the future it
TV.
will be.
It's easier to switch out your TV than it is the physical wires that are laid in your neighborhood.
Do they even use wire? I mean, I don't know anything
I don't
about-
think
I don't know
they
anything
use
about tech,
wires.
but-
It's not.
I think
connected
it's
to
I think it's
Ethernet?
on cell towers.
Well, I mean, the Nintendo Switch, does it only use Wi-Fi or can it connect?
It
to
only uses
Ethernet?
Wi-Fi. Yeah. You
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks. I couldn't.
No, Nintendo's online services are just the worst. But yeah.
Yeah, without. I mean, the house I'm living in was made in like 1996 out in Bowie. It's not even wired for Ethernet. So without
But it was made in 1996. It wasn't wired for internet.
nah, it wasn't wired.
My house was made in the 80s, and it's Actually,
They
no,
probably
it's not.
wired
It's not wired for internet. Actually, no,
Yeah, they
because you
probably
have to
wired it
plug
later
it
on.
straight to the router.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not wired for Ethernet back at home, so I have to plug in if I'm going to download anything.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's going to take a day and a half.
I had to move my rig from one room to the other in my house, and I lost an access to Ethernet ports, so I basically can only use Wi-Fi, and it's such trash. Like it's
I have this because in this room we recorded my room, by the way. I only have access to Wi-Fi, and it's so slow,
Oh yeah.
and it falls out all the time.
Yeah, man. You think why doesn't Elon go ahead and release a console? If he's
so
doing
busy with
if
other
he's doing
stuff.
the whole Starlink thing, imagine if
Consoles are
he
small
also
piece
had
compared to
a-
him.
I mean,
I mean, yeah, it
that's
would be a side project for him, but
that's a very
something to think
difficult
about.
market
He has
to
like
get
5
into.
side
Though.
projects. Yeah.
I mean, do
if
you remember?
anyone could do it though,
Do you remember?
if Elon came out with a console, who wouldn't buy it?
Do you remember when Apple released the Pippin?
I
it was-
don't even know what that name
We
is.
probably weren't alive. It was the trashest console in or okay, not the worst one ever,
It's not the
but it
Ou-
was
It's not the Ouya.
Yeah, that is. Oh, Jesus.
It was a well, I mean, the Soldier Boy console was probably the greatest console to ever exist
Of all time, dude.
It just had it.
No,
had
the
Smash-
dude, the KFC console.
or the
KF
KF
console.
console,
Yeah.
or the KFC console. You know,
Yeah, dude, that's some real gaming right there.
I mean, the fact that it can keep my shitty fried chicken warm, which now segues into our
Dude.
sponsor from KFC.
Yeah.
Enjoy heart disease.
Dude, dead ass. Like back during the college days, if we had a chicken warmer, we would have kept that in the hot box machines out back. Oh my god, that would have been wild.
I mean, are they actually selling it, or is it just a joke?
No, they're actually selling it. It's actually a real thing.
I heard that they were actually selling it.
It's just a PC with like a little canister, a little like, thing to put your fried chicken in.
Yeah,
Dude,
but
they
how
should
much does
they
it-
should have made it a Bitcoin mining machine, so all that heat
Dude, you
used
can't-
for the
you
chicken.
can do it.
Yeah, you can. If it's a PC, you can
Dude, I'm
mine
gonna
Bitcoin.
turn my KF console into a Bitcoin mining machine to heat my chicken, dude.
Next time I go over to your house, I just see this stack of KFC consoles or KFC
Dude.
consoles.
That's next level living right there. God damn.
I wonder how much that costs. I'm going to Google this.
I just looked it up now. It's $2,000.
That's pretty reasonable. That's a reasonable amount
I mean,
of money.
it's like super powered. You can do like 4K and shit. You can do.
They
like-
can actually do things other than
Yeah.
heat chicken?
No, it literally is a.
Oh, I literally
ultra-powered
thought it was.
PC.
I literally thought it was just an oven. with
No,
a-
you like
no,
play games
it's
on
a
it.
it's a computer. It's
What the
a
fuck?
pre-built PC.
It has a 2
Okay.
terabyte solid state drive.
God damn,
It's
dude.
a
Wow. What's
try-
the CPU and GPU like?
has a Core i9 processor.
Whoa.
I'm trying to see the.
That's stronger than the laptop we're recording on right now. That's insane.
Fuck, guys. Anyone
Shit,
want to
next-
invest
next-
in a
Oh,
Oh, next
so it has
PC I
a
pick up.
swappable GPU. It doesn't say exactly what it has though. I'm just trying to find.
Oh, then it's probably not a very good GPU if it's swappable. If your selling point is that you can get a different GPU.
Well, most
Yeah.
PCs have swappable. It would be
Well,
they'd look bad if they didn't have a swappable GPU.
yeah, but it's weird to sell something saying, "Don't worry, you don't have to use the thing we're giving you." It's just a shit selling point. If I worked in marketing, that probably wouldn't be what I mentioned if I put a really good GPU in there.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But it's surprisingly powerful.
I'm trying to see what the GPU is.
So yeah, I guess if KFC can break into the gaming market, why not Elon Musk?
Why not, man?
Well-
I really am interested to see how the Starlink thing pulls out. Because it's been a couple of years now that he started on it. They've sent up a substantial amount of satellites. Once the entire thing's complete, you're gonna be able to get 5G in Antarctica.
Really?
Yeah, anywhere in the world you can connect to it. I think all you have to do is pay for the box, and it's relatively cheap, so anyone could buy it.
So it's the GPU is and they call it as an unknown Asus RTX supported graphics card. It's like doesn't have like a name. It's not like an actual like a branded like.
You think they're just doing whatever
GPU.
is, reasonably priced for the time?
They're probably just getting a good deal with Asus to make it. That's what I imagine.
Yeah.
Like the company.
Okay. Who was the marketing exec at KFC who was like, we need to break into the console market, and has he been fired yet?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Like, did you see that they made a soap opera?
KFC did?
KFC made a soap opera.
I'm not surprised. They've been getting all kinds of weird with the ads for KFC, man.
I loved when they had Norm Macdonald on.
Yeah, Norm Macdonald as the Colonel was pretty good.
Yeah, you've been getting like a lot of big name but older like comedians.
I mean,
Play the Colonel.
what other fast food companies have gotten into gaming? I know Burger King had their games back in the day. They had Sneak King and Burger King Racing, all those crap games.
There was also that deal that Pizza Hut had, I think it was with Sony, where you could get like a demo disc of 5 different games when you bought like some deal.
Dude, I miss the demo disc days. You know, that was
absolutely
that was crazy. And the PlayStation magazines back during the PS2 days, they would give you a full on demo with multiplayer. Those were the days, dude.
And nowadays, kids get little plastic action figures that
Now
move their arms up.
Dude, nowadays we buy the demo for $85 and they release it day one.
Well, you get the alpha of a game that will be finished in 3 years.
Yeah, dude. I feel so bad for people who bought Anthem day one, or just any game that's.
Dude,
I
I could tell that was a disaster, like just a straight garbage truck on fire the moment it started. That looked so like a disaster from the very beginning.
They tried to sell it on the whole feel of the Iron Man suit, flying around, being all cool, which, to be honest, looked really good in the 2017 E3 trailer. But God, if it is not, just faded away. That game is trash.
Well, I was one of the idiots who got Cyberpunk on release day.
Bro, I have my PS4 copy still wrapped up, unplayable to this day.
I mean, why didn't you return it,
dude? Let's do that as a bit for the podcast. I'll try to play PS4 Cyberpunk and see if it's any at all playable.
Because I have it on my PC, which is it's not the most insane thing ever, but it's a nice PC.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like how Skyrim. Well, I was going to say used to be is, where there's a bunch of glitches that are pretty funny.
Yeah.
So it's not like the end of the world or anything.
Yeah.
But on PS4, it's just unplayable.
It was never lovable enough for the glitches to become features.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was drawing enough, when I was on right over with Cam, I was drawing lines between Cyberpunk's launch and then Batman Arkham Knight's launch on the PC. It's like the other way around though, where it's like the console versions are trash. Although the PC version's also like super glitchy too, but
yeah.
Do you think the Arkham Knight thing was that's the only other time I've ever seen somebody do you think a company pull this game off the store because it was so bad?
Was that just a porting issue when they went to PC?
Yeah, it was just a disastrous port. It was so bad.
And that happens with PC games a lot because with a lot of these,
at least
Sony and Microsoft.
At least it used to. During the 360 PS3 era, that was a particularly bad time for console ports.
But in terms of games that I actually just finished earlier today that I wholeheartedly support, Hitman 3. It's great.
I've heard good things, dude.
It's exactly like the last 2 games, but I loved the last 2 games. They didn't have to change anything.
Why did they redo the naming of the Hitman games? Because hasn't there already been a Hitman 1 and 2?
Well, because I think IO Studios or whatever bought it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think they already always owned it, but they had a partnership with Square Enix, the company, but then they broke off from them to make it to publish it themselves.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that game is pretty fun, but yeah, no, it's just a reboot. I mean, people do that all the time, where they just just do a basic name reboot, just a name. They did that with Tomb Raider back in 2014.
With God of War.
Yeah, God of Wars. They do that all the time.
Isn't the sequel to God of War coming out?
Yeah,
relatively soon.
A few years.
Okay,
a year or so.
I heard it was pretty good. I
heard it was amazing.
I was a big fan of the PS2 and PS3 games.
I never played any of them, so yeah, I'm not really familiar.
Dude, the God of War 3 remastered on PS4 is just beautiful. Really fun. Really fun. Cool. Absolutely brutal. That was back in the console era where just all your video game protagonists were giant, meaty, just angry men,
Yeah.
And I feel like they still have that today, where almost all the video game covers are just super unoriginal photos of just some muscular white male in his 30s, just looking all badass on the front cover. That's all they do now. They're so unoriginal with their covers. Cyberpunk did that. I mean, most video game cover arts you'll see, it'll be just like that.
Well, I also think that could have something to do with the fact that cover art has obsolesced.
True.
Yeah.
I mean,
because most people buy things digital anyways.
Yeah, it's I was trying to think just now what was the cover art for Red Dead 2, but I bought it on Steam
Yeah.
So I have no idea.
You know, cover art Red Dead 2 is the guy pointing the revolver at the screen at
but-
you.
but
But it's, again, it's another
I've
example
never,
of
I've
what
never,
I'm saying.
I've never seen it though.
Yeah,
Because
but
I did not buy a physical version of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, the art of good like box covers is totally gone. You know, remember Left 4 Dead? How ridiculous that looked with the bitten off finger and everything, the hand clawing the screen. That was awesome.
Yeah,
you know?
no,
that was really well done. One of the few companies that keeps it up is Rockstar with GTA.
yeah, I was about to say that they have a really cool cover art.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that style is so iconic to the GTA feel. You know.
And also like the fact that they sort of show you what the color palette for the game will be like on the cover.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I love that. That's a great design feature, and they actually show you kind of what the game looks like, sort of.
Wolfenstein kind of had a cool like cover art. I thought.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
it did.
It's like
I
the
enjoyed
masked
Wolfenstein one.
men or like whatever, like soldiers, Nazis, whatever.
Well, have you
As
ever
like the bad guys in the cover.
have you ever seen the
So it's
cover art
ominous.
for the Japanese version of Earthbound? It was called Mother.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
It-
Was
it's-
it Mother 2? Or was it just Mother?
It was just Mother.
Okay.
Yeah. It sort of looks Soviet-esque. Here, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. But it just says Mother in red or yellow letters on a red background, but the O is the Earth. But I mean, tell me if you get the same
Oh,
communist vibes that I do. Hold up.
Is it that like Soviet brutalist style?
Yeah, it kind of looks like that.
Well, you know, I had a really cool cover art that I just bought. I just bought this indie game on the Switch. It's called We the Revolution, and it's about like
Oh yeah, dude. I think I saw that on
basically
Steam.
about like some like judge
nice.
during the French Revolution, where you're just sort of like you're like a judge, in that really chaotic time. You're just sort of like passing judgment, but you have to be really careful, otherwise you can get your head chopped off too.
Yeah, dude.
Because,
during
like-
like the Reign of Terror.
Yeah, during the Reign of Terror. So it's this really interesting political like simulator almost of like that time. But it's the cover art is just a guillotine, like a blood soaked guillotine,
Jeez.
and which is honestly so appropriate. And honestly, that was really cool. Thought that was a really cool cover art. For
Dude, that was such a cringy meme when people were calling guillotines choppy boys.
When was that? I don't remember that at all.
That was like a year ago, man. That was like
I don't remember that.
I mean,
awful.
I-
Just
Must have missed
awful.
that.
that's what every meme from Tumblr is.
Yeah, dude.
It's all just
Choppy boys.
or it's just take
Small
something and
boy,
call it
fluffer.
boys.
Did
You know?
Tumblr make a comeback?
No, I mean maybe I don't use it.
I
so
think
have
it
no
sold
idea.
for like an unbelievably low amount of money recently.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
yeah. It's worth nothing.
I think Yahoo bought them for like $3 billion or something, and then
Wasn't Yahoo
ended up
just recently
selling them for
purchased?
like 50 million, something
Yeah.
insane.
Yahoo just recently purchased too for like a ridiculously low amount of money.
Oh, who picked them up?
I'll look it up.
Because no one fucking uses Yahoo.
My grandparents still use Yahoo.
Sorry, Cam's grandparents use Yahoo.
It's like 77 years old.
Yeah, in 2016, they sold to Verizon for $5 billion. That's nothing.
It?
$5 billion.
Yikes.
They were sold.
For
Yeah.
one of the biggest names on the internet. What happened to AOL
It used,
Online?
it used to be worth $125 billion.
A
and they sold it
shallow,
for $5 billion.
cold
That's
grave.
insane.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask Jeeves about that one.
Ask Jeeves.
God, has
Oh,
the internet
shit.
changed.
Yeah.
Dude, oh man, we're in 2021. Flash is dead. Seth and I, last time we hung out, we were talking about newgrounds.com and how basically their entire network infrastructure, everything on the website is inaccessible now. Because they were all about Flash animation and Flash games, you know.
Well, but also, the death of Flash is kind of a good thing because
for security reasons.
you were basically just inviting every virus onto your computer.
Yeah.
I still miss those old Flash games though.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I remember
dude.
addictinggames.com. That was my
Addicting
childhood.
games, and mini clips, Congregate, all those websites, dude.
I mean, honestly, when I was at a particularly boring lecture, sometimes I just type in like Warfare 1917, play those old games.
Oh yeah. Oh
I mean,
god, dude, I know that
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, I still play Flash games. Like sometimes when I was bored, I just open up like a Flash game of Tetris, and I just play Tetris when I'm bored.
Oh yeah. Dude, there was one time back when I went to Salisbury where I was sitting in my bio class. It was like 200, 300 people, just huge. And it was when Sony had released whatever their program's called, where you can connect your laptop to your PlayStation, and if you have a controller plugged into your laptop, you can just stream from your PlayStation in your room. So I was still playing games like from my dorm room when I was sitting in my bio class. totally kicked ass.
I had no idea they had that kind of technology.
Yeah, man, I
Yeah.
could connect to
I,
my
u-
PS3.
I used to
right,
own an
PS4
old
right
ass
now.
like Vita, like old PlayStation Vita, and
Yeah.
like I used to be able to like stream Destiny or something back when I was in high school.
Dude,
like from the Vita to like from my PS4 to the Vita.
I'm so sad I didn't pick up a Vita in its prime, man. That was like the
And
last stand.
it never
for
had a
handhelds.
prime. It was a failed handheld from beginning to end.
There was some decent content on there, but they just didn't keep up
Alright,
the flow.
the most of their games were just like re-releases of old PSG games, and that was like Persona 4 Golden or something. Like, it was not a very successful console. Nobody
Well,
put stuff on there.
Actually, I remember
Yeah.
around the time my mom was looking to buy a new car back when we were in high school, they were giving PS Vitas away if you purchased a car.
Oh my god, it's
Yeah.
hilarious. A car?
Yeah, if you bought a car, you got a free PS
What the fuck?
Vita.
What is
Yeah.
the crossover in audience there?
I think
like what?
I think
Just trying to get them off their hands.
I think Sony was just trying to dump them.
Yeah.
It's like, and I think it was like a it was like a Toyota dealership or something. It was some Japanese car company.
Okay.
So you know, it was related
Which,
countries, I guess.
dude, those companies are so old. My God, like Mitsubishi produced the Zeros, the fighters that bombed Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. Well, Porsche made Tiger tanks.
Yamaha, Mitsubishi, all those companies.
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
were all part of the war effort back in
Ferrari, Lamborghini.
the day. Yeah.
They were all on the wrong side of the war.
Yeah, Hugo Boss.
Yeah,
That being said, no army has ever looked more fly, dude.
they did look really good.
They looked so good.
I mean, okay, I've had a theory about this for a long time. I think that far right wing groups like to dress well,
they do.
whereas far left wing groups dress like trash. Like if you look at like Soviet and Maoist uniforms, they're really ugly and unoriginal.
Yeah,
But like you look at Pinochet, he looked pretty good.
true.
He looked like a Nazi, but he looked pretty good.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man, there was like a bunch of South American countries who had really close ties to the German Empire, and a lot of them, like I think either Chile or Argentina, when they do their military parades every year, they dress up looking like full-on World War II German soldiers because they got so much of their military culture from the Germans.
Well, and this might not necessarily be true, but I've heard that the SS uniforms that the Nazis wore were based off of the Massachusetts State Police
Really?
uniforms.
What?
Yeah, I mean, if you can pull it up, yeah.
Yeah, I'll look that up.
I mean, it's a shocking resemblance. Like it kind of just looks like a baby blue version of their uniform.
Yeah, dude, this is where a visual portion of the podcast would come in well.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to get
So-
some visuals in,
Because we can't just assume people are gonna know what we're talking about.
or Google it, because you could be driving, you could do all types of different things.
Yeah,
Well, that's
Your
the beauty of
hands aren't free.
podcasting.
Huh?
That's the beauty of podcasting.
Yeah,
True.
yeah. But we need to get a visual aspect. We need to get a Jamie.
Yeah,
Jamie,
we-
Jamie, can you pull it up?
young Jamie.
We need to get enough money to pay a Jamie, or get enough know-how to be able to do what Jamie does.
Yeah, because it's pretty
To pull it up
rudimentary
so
right now,
quickly.
folks. We're learning as we go along, but I think we've gotten to a pretty good place. you
Yeah.
know?
Like, and we mentioned that this was the third, but also the first podcast. That's how much we're picking things up as we go along.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll bring the lost episodes to you, but it has been a mess trying to edit those into place.
I mean, what's really cool though is that the last like 15 minutes, because they got so out of sync, would be great material for a horror film.
It is a looping track over and over. Scary shit.
That like line up over each other in just the most eerie way possible.
It's crazy, man. Yeah, what was the first video game you guys ever played?
Oh my god, that was a long time ago. I remember the first one I really liked that stands out in my mind as being one of the first. I mean, so I was pretty late to playing games, and wasn't exactly get the most. I never had a Nintendo console until the Wii, which I barely played. But the first one I got was the OG Xbox. So I have a very different experience with childhood gaming than most people did. I never played Smash when I was a kid or something.
Oh yeah, I wasn't a Nintendo kid growing up.
But the first game I played when I was a kid was that I loved play all the time was Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh, yeah.
the OG.
Oh yeah, dude.
That shit was
Which I think
good.
everyone loves Battlefront 2. I think Battlefront 1 had much better squad controls. You know, rather than just follow me or stay here, you could say take this flag or a whole bunch of other options. You know,
I mean, I
made the
usually
squad
just like
design a
play
little
like straight
better.
up multiplayer, so I never really had like squads.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like most people just like do whatever the hell they wanted.
Well,
But
I was playing single player until I got the network adapter for the PS2, the giant
oh
brick you
yeah,
plug into the
yeah.
back, which makes it
No,
Ethernet compatible.
when I was a kid, I was playing that. I had gotten the space missions down to a T, dude. It
Oh
was
yeah,
like
man.
an equation for me, man. I would just like I was doing everything, sabotaging all the right things and like getting all the best
Oh yeah, man.
gear. I
Did
love that
it? Did either
stuff.
of you guys play the new Star Wars Squadrons?
I have not.
I did, and I played it in VR.
What? What did you think?
Don't play it in VR.
I imagine it'd be very disorienting.
You will want to throw up. Yeah.
Nice.
It's fine.
It's $40. I mean, it's not a full price game.
I mean, I have EA Play, so
Oh,
I
really?
got it
Yeah.
for free. Yeah. I mean, it's a fine game. It's by no means the best Star Wars game I've ever played, but it'll keep you entertained for a few hours.
Is it just the flying portions from Battlefront 2? Is it just like the same controls and stuff?
Yeah, it's like that, but more fully fledged.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
and there's like a story to it. I didn't get too far into the story. I played like the Imperial path.
Hmm.
And it's it's pretty fun. It's
Yeah.
not the best thing ever though.
It's pretty though.
It is gorgeous.
Man,
it is gorgeous.
To this day, Battlefront 2 may be the prettiest game I've ever seen. It looks really, really good.
I gotta disagree. I think the prettiest game I've ever seen. Not that that's like the end all be all of video gaming, but it's Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk looks fucking amazing.
It looks good.
It plays like terribly,
Mm.
but it looks unbelievably good. If you just stand there and look at Night City, it is gorgeously well done.
Yeah, dude. But saying that, standing in like the Hoth caves in Battlefront, unbelievable.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
my God, it looks good.
I'm getting kind of sick though of these developers that only care about graphics.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more to gameplay than
Big
graphics.
time. I mean, what I've been playing the most recently is Rimworld, and it doesn't look fantastic. I mean, the character models are clear, but it's not made to look really good. But it's fun.
I own that. I played it for about 5 hours, and like not even because I disliked it or I was bored. I actually got very interested in it. I think I just got sidetracked
Mm.
and stopped playing it. But it also like they've done a thing in Rimworld where it's like the graphics aren't like super realistic or anything, but it feels like it has like a style.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I just love how all your characters have different interactions with each other. They can like and hate each other, get into fights with each other, have bad moods and stuff. Shit, there goes the chair.
Yeah, no, it does that. Yeah. It's a fun chair.
Yeah, it's a fun game though. Rimworld's pretty tight. I don't know what kind of games do you guys get into? What's your like chosen genres?
My genre is mainly competitive multiplayer games. I just like I love the competitive aspect of it, and I just find that I just get absorbed into it way more than most like single player games even. So that's usually what I spend most of my time playing.
I mean, you both know my chosen
Oh,
genre.
yeah.
And I love my chosen genre. I
Yeah.
love RTSs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, too much for my own good.
What was your like start with RTSs back in the day?
So my start with RTSs was actually not so. My start with strategy games was a turn-based strategy game, Civ 5.
Okay.
Which I have over 3 months straight, or over 3 months straight of hours in that game. I actually
Jesus,
calculated
dude.
it, because that was basically my parents for one Christmas got me like I asked for a computer which was too big of an ask, but they got me a cheap computer and I could run Civ 5 on it if I only did it in the like when you just do it as the hexagons.
Yeah.
I could only run it like that and it was still like super slow.
Damn.
But I played that game for hours because it was the only thing I had and I loved it. But then I didn't. My first RTS was Hearts of Iron 4,
Okay.
and I started playing that all the time. And then I just got into everything else Paradox, and now Vicky 2, which is objectively a buggy mess that did not sell well, is my favorite game of all time.
Yeah, it feels kind of weird calling those games real-time strategy. That's technically what it is, but it's not like Age of Mythology or Age of Empires,
No, I mean, and I think a lot of people refer to them as like just map games.
Yeah,
Because you look at a map.
what is a 4X game? I see that description for stuff like
Yeah, for like Forex strategy, like Paradox games and
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah. I
I
own
have
like
no idea what that
I own
means.
Stellaris, and that's how it describes as a Forex strategy game.
Yeah, dude.
Or-
What does that mean?
There's also another game called Endless Legend, which is another strategy, and it's called a Forex strategy. I think it's just like
I see that that adjective all over the place, but I'm not quite sure what it means, despite playing a lot of those games.
I don't know.
I'm actually looking it up right now.
Because that wasn't a thing. I got my start with RTSs way back in the day with Age of Empires 2 and Pharaoh Cleopatra.
Oh, I guess it's
Way
more
back
fair
in the
to say
day.
that I like 4X games because the gameplay involves building an empire. Emphasis is placed upon economic and technological development as well as a range of non-military routes to
Yeah.
supremacy.
That's
Yeah,
what I
see.
thought you were more referring to RTS as like StarCraft or something,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
like
Yeah, no,
different,
so I guess
you know?
4X would be because I mean it is real-time strategy, but it's not I guess what people think of when you say real-time
Yeah,
strategy.
with RTS, I feel like it's more like squadrons and shit. It's like,
yeah. No, I
it's
just
like company of heroes, like that sort of similar to that stuff.
I just like forming Papal Italy, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a 4X strategy game.
Yeah, the 4X genre, it's pretty good, man. I mean, I put ungodly amounts of times into Stellaris. Not months, but just hundreds of hours. It's fun.
Yeah.
Fun game.
Honestly, that's of all the Paradox games, I've played a little bit of Stellaris, but not a ton of it.
It's by far the most casual of the Paradox games.
And I just never got into it as much, and I think that's just because I like the map element and the connection to the real world.
Yeah.
Because you can do Mimi things like make Papal Italy, you know?
Yeah.
Where in Stellaris, it's sort of like Civ 5, where it's very freeform. It's sort of a world that develops on its own.
Oh yeah, yeah. As you start revealing your way across the galaxy, it's fun, man. I think the YouTube channel, the Templin Institute, was doing this thing where they would play like a round of Stellaris, and then each week they would give like a half-year update on what happened within inside the Empire as like a news update. I thought that was a really cool idea, because you're essentially watching the birth of a civilization through time,
No, that's a very cool idea, but I've seen that go the other way. Are you familiar with March of the Eagles?
No, no.
There's a reason you're not familiar with March of the Eagles. It's because it's the worst game Paradox ever made.
It's a Paradox game.
Yeah, it's a Paradox
no.
game, and it was supposed to be a big one. It actually, like, if you look at Paradox games, they are all sort of connected in terms of timeline, where it goes Imperator Rome, Crusader Kings, Europa Universalis, and then there's a blank spot in the 16th century, then it goes Victoria 2 and Hearts of Iron 4.
Yeah.
That blank spot is where March of the Eagles goes. It's the
Oh.
Napoleonic Wars.
Oh, okay.
And they for some reason they put so much effort into this mechanic where after a battle it would give you like a story about what happened in the battle, like a historian or something.
Yeah.
But also the AI was broken and no one could figure out how to play the game.
Yikes.
It was just terrible. So it's a cool idea to put into a game like that, but not at the expense of everything else.
I wonder if there's like a super underground culture of players for that game,
Definitely
The
not.
people
Definitely not.
because someone always goes out of their way to be the best person at the worst game, That's
Yeah.
just something people seem to go for.
There's just like 5 guys who met each other over like 4chan or something
Yeah.
who all just love March of the Eagles, and they're just the entire community.
Probably, dude.
Yeah.
Some super niche subreddit or something.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, man, Reddit has just been on a banning streak, dude. I wonder how long it's going to take them until they ban Wall Street Bets.
Well, they already had to put it on private, right? They forced them to put the whole thing on private at the height of the
Damn.
controversy, the Genie to the Moon controversy.
Because Nick and I are both part of a subreddit which is constantly worried about being banned.
Yeah.
Political Compass memes,
Oh.
which is sort of like an edgy political kind of subreddit.
Yeah.
But
They just make fun of each other.
yeah,
That's mainly
it-
what they do.
it-
It is largely right wing people though. Like you see, like with their flares, and it's almost always like either lib right, or alt right.
there's a lot of lib left. There's a lot.
There's a
of lib
few.
left.
There's more. I feel like I see way more people on the right there.
I would. I think that the majority of people, or the plurality of people there, are probably lib left.
They probably have demographics on this, like the mods like can share that, but I would disagree.
Well, we'll have to reach out to them.
Do you think it's a matter of vocality? Do you think right wingers are more vocal?
I wouldn't say that.
I don't know. It is also a very niche subreddit, which might, because I find that you kind of find like niches on the internet of right wing people.
Yeah, definitely.
There's very few like.
They do just say some pretty outrageous shit there sometimes. That, like I'm just like, come on, really? Like,
Well, but also
I don't really go through it that much, but yeah, keep going.
Okay. No, but I you don't really find like a lot of very popular platforms and have a lot of right wing people on them.
Yeah, well, you did with Parler, and then Gone. Just
well,
gone.
even that was just discount Facebook. You know,
true.
like it was once again just a niche. in
Well, I read that it was
environment.
like so poorly made that like, you know, it was like super easily hackable, so you can get like information from them because like they just didn't really have much security on it, and so like all the people who said all of like any bad shit on there just is like it's all out in the open still, like downloaded.
Oh, didn't their ISP actually pull out from them?
Yeah,
they
yeah,
got dropped.
AWS, Amazon.
Yeah.
Which, yikes! Another one bites the dust.
I mean, it kind of just seems like it's going to make right wing people crawl into a different, darker corner of
Yeah,
the
that's
internet.
that's the thing. Like banning people doesn't get rid of the thought line. You know that doesn't disappear. Those people are just a lot angrier and now convinced that the conspiracies against them are 100% true.
And now they're going to go to a darker recess of the internet.
Someplace you'll never find them until it's too late.
4chan.
It's crazy, dude. The internet has just been filtered down, pushed through like the funnel until just mainstream shit comes out at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
There used to be like there was just a wealth of websites you could go to for anything from flash games to pornography. Now Pornhub owns everything.
I'm not that upset about that.
I'm a little upset when they got rid of like 75% of their content.
I mean,
Well,
it was like banning like illegal shit. So
But they
I'm not-
didn't just
wasn't-
ban illegal shit. They banned everything
Anything
that
that wasn't
certified,
verified.
You know?
But also, like, wasn't the whole controversy that like some of the rape fetish stuff seemed a little too like the acting was a little too good?
Hey, let's not kink shame here, buddy.
Okay, but I will crime shame.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's illegal.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely clean up the illegal stuff, but they cleaned out everything. So much content gone.
Yeah. No, I remember when that first happened. I saw I think it was a TikTok of this guy ranting about how he had all these Pornhub tabs like bookmarked on his computer.
Oh, God.
Now he's like almost all of them are now useless.
Yeah, dude. It happened to Tumblr too. Tumblr used to have a whole bunch of good shit on it.
Yeah.
Then they purged everything, and Tumblr sold for nothing because no one used it anymore.
Yeah.
It's weird that Twitter doesn't like ban porn or anything. It's strange that just floats around on Twitter.
I don't have a Twitter. I've never had a Twitter.
Oh, dude, everyone and their mom links to their OnlyFans on their Twitter now. It's ridiculous. It's weird that it's gotten to the point where there's people you went to high school who are like porn stars now. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird. It was funny, like I remember going back to senior year of high school. It was funny to think that like people could sell feet pics. That used to be the rage, but now everyone has an OnlyFans and it's just the thing.
Yeah, it's sort of like the Craigslist of porn, I guess.
Yeah, honestly. Grassroots.
Cooper, you seem uncomfortable with the conversation.
Now what's going on, dude? What are you thinking about?
Nothing much. Nothing much.
We won't want to change the topic.
Yeah, what
Actually, going back to what you're saying, the first video game I ever played was Star Fox 64.
okay.
Yeah, I got my N64 because the neighbor kid had done something illegal. I can't quite remember, but then his parents gave me his N64.
Damn.
So I was happy that he broke rules.
Dude, yeah, the N64 was tight back in the day. What was that, F-Zero Racing? That game was tight.
Yeah.
Super hard to control, but really fun. Really fast speeds.
Yeah, and it was also the weirdest controller I'd ever seen, but thinking about Nintendo's mindset going into it, it makes sense to have both the D-pad and the joystick because you can do both 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional games.
Dude, did you ever stay at a hotel or motel that had just like an N64 in the room as just part of the accoutrements?
I did not, but I did used to go to a dentist's office that in the waiting room there was an N64.
Did they have Dr. Mario?
They did not have Dr. Mario.
Weird, considering you were at the dentist and they didn't. They
That
didn't
would
have
make a
Dr.
lot more
Mario, but the hotels did.
They had Frogger.
Frogger.
Yeah.
Jeez.
The
Yeah.
Frogger was an option.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. That's the only one I remember playing because I think that was the only game there they had that I was like, oh, I know what Frogger is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Across the
man.
road.
I remember playing F-Zero Racing and like old school old school Smash Bros. On the N64 back at my friend's house. I remember watching his brother play StarCraft 1. I was like, what the fuck is this? This is so violent, even though it's pretty much unrecognizable, at this point
Yeah.
to call it violent, but it was pretty sweet back in the day. Yeah.
You guys ever go back to like games you thought were like, oh my god, like they can never get better? Also, your battery's running low. Uh, but it's like there used to be games that like looked so good back in the day, but now I look back at it and it's like, dude, this looks like utter trash. Like visually,
yeah,
it
man.
just
I
hasn't
like.
aged.
I went back and played Age of Mythology, and it does not.
Oh
Hold
my god,
up.
it looks so bad. I
I
remember used to
love
play the
that
hell
game
out of that
back in
game
the
back
day,
in
and
the
it does
day.
not hold up, dude. It is too simplistic in RTS.
I
Unfortunately.
remember after I completed Red Dead Redemption 2, I wanted to go back and play the first one, so I found my old Xbox and the game and everything. I put it in.
Mhm.
It does not look good.
Yeah,
It
Yikes.
looks really, really, really bad.
Well, I just
Yeah,
recently went back to an old 360 game that I want to play called Mafia 2. That I
Oh,
just-
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that game. I thought it looked so good, and then it looked so cool being
Dude.
like a mobster in like a discount New York or whatever.
Yeah, speaking of demos,
like-
I remember playing the first part of Mafia 2 where
Yeah.
you're over in Sicily.
You get like 1 hour,
yeah,
too.
that was
Yeah.
fun.
That was tight. Very
Yeah.
Godfather-esque.
But
Yeah.
I was playing that now. It just does not age well. Well, apparently, did you hear that they remastered like from the ground up the original Mafia?
No.
Yeah,
No,
no,
they
and it has it looks like pretty modern. I mean, it doesn't
Oh.
look like Red Dead obviously, but it looks pretty good. Like it looks really good actually.
Yeah,
I
man,
never
that's-
actually
it's a good
played
game
the
series.
original Mafia.
Well, yeah, it was on like the OG Xbox and shit, so it was like really old.
Oh,
but like
okay.
it looks like it's like set in the 1920s, and it has like the 1920s as cars because Mafia.
It was the 50s, yeah.
Mafia 2 is in the 50s.
Yeah, that's
Mafia,
what I'm saying. Mafia
yeah,
2 was in
yeah.
the 50s.
And so it's just like it looks way older cars and way older stuff. And then oh my god, did you guys ever play Mafia 3, like the newest one?
No, I heard
Dude,
it was
I got it.
trash.
I got it free
Okay,
on PSN. I didn't play it.
I tried to play at the beginning, right? And then like so it starts off with you like robbing a bank or something like that.
Mm.
And you're like robbing a bank. But then you start off like in the middle of a safe and people are shooting at you. But I left my controller there because I was like making food, and I just left it there. And I was just standing right in the open, and I would get hit occasionally, and that'd be fine. I'd be hit occasionally, and it was literally just like I was literally just standing there, and I just wasn't getting killed whatsoever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, these AI are so stupid. Like,
Dude, I
this
saw
game
I
seems
saw
like
the
an utter-
videos of some of the glitches in Mafia 3.
Yeah, it was a
Yikes.
very
It's
poorly
like
made.
a
It wasn't
bad-
from the same
Okay,
developers, so
okay,
it was a
but-
different dev, and that's why.
But going back to Mafia 2, do you remember that you would get pulled over for breaking traffic laws?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
get
dude.
pulled over for speeding?
Yeah.
What? What?
Well, yeah, they had like a you can like set it to like only go 60, so you can only go at the speed limit to like
Yeah, they had
blend
to.
in.
They
Oh, I
had a
forgot about
limiter
that.
function
Mhm,
in
a
the car,
limiter.
so you wouldn't.
And then in order to
get a
like stay
speeding
out,
ticket.
you just have to like run away. In order to like avoid the cops, you have to like drive away and wait for like the stars to like stop. You had to like actually like go to like a shop and like change
Get
the
your
license plate and
license plate
change the
changed,
color
yeah,
and shit. It was-
Yeah.
That's going a little far.
Yeah.
It's realistic, but is that fun? I mean, there's times when I'm playing GTA 5 just mindlessly where I just follow the traffic rules for no reason at all.
yeah, it was a different game than GTA, but
Yeah,
Yes.
but making people follow traffic laws seems like a little bit too much of a commitment to realism.
yeah,
Like I don't want to play a game where I'm stuck in traffic. You know?
It's one thing when it's a tailing mission and you don't want to look suspicious driving around, It's completely something else when you just can't drive past the speed limit without getting pulled over.
Yeah.
Because there's days in real life where you can totally not follow the speed limit and it's fine. And there's days where there's cops all over the road,
Oh, that's just every day in Virginia.
Jesus, yeah.
I hate driving in Virginia.
dude,
I
there's
have
so
to
much more
remember to
strict about
bring-
traffic
yeah.
laws.
I have to remember to bring coins every time I go over there to pay for the tolls.
Yeah.
It's like,
Mhm.
who carries coins?
Or
What is
you
this?
can drive through the toll, but then it's so much more expensive.
Oh, God.
Is
yeah.
it more expensive? Like the toll in Baltimore is like 50% more, right? It's usually $4, and they charge you $6 if you don't have cash.
Yeah, no, it's a huge hike on
Yeah.
the toll. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's just, yeah.
No,
They're nice roads. I'll give them that. They're nice roads,
They're-
but
you can only go
Yeesh.
15 on them.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried driving like up to New York? Like they have so many tolls going up. Like
Oh, yeah,
there,
dude.
it's like $40 tolls. It's ridiculous. Then you go drive down south and there's like no tolls. You rarely ever
Yeah.
see tolls there. It's a very big difference in like funds, like like gathering funds for the state.
Yeah, I mean, I
Very
guess if
different
you're
way.
going up to New York, there's
Yeah.
high demand
High
to
demand,
get to
yeah.
New York.
Well,
Not so much high demand to get to Baltimore.
Yeah. Well, it's still a toll in Baltimore. I was saying like down south, like there's like so many fewer.
Well, I was
tolls.
just trying to name a city that's it's a major city, but it's relatively small.
Yeah.
Because like it wouldn't be fair to say like Atlanta, because Atlanta's a pretty big city.
Yeah.
oh yeah, man. Yeah, I used to spend my summers down in Atlanta when my dad lived there. It's a cool city, dude.
I didn't know your dad
I've
was
never been
tight
to Atlanta,
in
yeah.
Atlanta.
Yeah, I used to live in the suburbs of Atlanta.
Oh,
I'd
okay, nice.
spend like a month every summer down there. It was tight. Got to go to the World of Coke because Coca-Cola's from Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah.
They at the end of the tour, they have all these international flavors. Crazy stuff, dude. The German one tasted like salty seltzer water. I was like, is this what goes down over there? Is this the goodness?
Yeah, I remember when I took German, and we had to like learn about German culture as well and stuff. If you go into a German cafe, and order water, you will not get you will not get distilled water like we get. You will get natural bubbling spring water.
Oh,
Yeah,
is it good?
I have no idea. I've never been to Germany.
Yeah.
I just had to learn a bunch of stuff about their culture to take a language that I thought would be easy and actually turned out to be harder.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah. You took German. Cooper, you took Spanish, right?
Yeah, I took Spanish.
Yeah, I took Chinese. From 7th grade on.
I only took German for 3 years.
I ended up taking Chinese 1 like 3 times because when I went to my high school, they were just starting their Chinese program, so I had to restart and do that again. Then I went to college, and I just never bothered to take an entrance exam for the languages, so I
Okay.
just got put in Chinese 1 again.
Yeah, I mean, I
Fun
know
times.
I always had to take a language again at college until I transferred. And I was just going to take German 1 because that'd be a cakewalk, but then I transferred, and now my German's actually. I wish I'd had actually
Oh,
taken
they don't-
German again because it's kind of trash now.
Did they not require you to take a language at UMD?
No, they didn't require
Ah.
languages aren't required at
Well,
UMD.
yeah, I took political science. They require you to take a language there, but I already taken the language, so I didn't really have to do it. But
Yeah, okay. Econ doesn't
yeah,
require a language.
econ doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I guess if you were required to take a language, it probably should be German for econ.
Chinese.
Yeah, let's say Chinese.
Well,
is more
okay. I
accurate
mean,
than
a lot of
econ,
the
German.
classical economists were Germans.
Yeah, but
That's why capital's K.
But like,
Got to learn Swiss German.
yeah, you got to learn like where the money's at. It's
Yeah,
econ.
Well, yeah, but to understand theory might help to know German. For instance, why
I
capital
think all of
is
the
K.
theory, most of the theory is pretty well translated to English.
Yeah.
A lot of the famous economists were also English or Scottish, like Adam Smith, or who's Scottish, or
Mills.
yeah, or I was gonna say Keynes. He was
English.
English.
Well, but then you
yeah.
have Hayek, who was Austrian.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
it's it's pretty well.
Yeah.
It's dispersed across Europe in terms of the
Yeah,
economic
yeah,
theory.
probably.
Yeah, like Seth and I were talking about the parallels. If you look at the Eurasian continent and then you split it in half and you look at the parallels in between the two sides, it's interesting how you get like a British monarchy island nation and you have Japan as this like imperial nation,
Which are both kind of heavily reliant on tradition for their society to keep functioning.
Yeah, and then you have the very like industrialized interior of the continent. You have China and you have Germany and France,
Yeah. No, it's an interesting sort of parallel, which might just be
And then
like
I
a
guess,
false.
I guess like
correlation.
Taiwan is the Ireland of the East. Dude, you've been hearing about the
guess
flyovers.
sort of.
You've been hearing about the flyovers near Taiwan, right?
No, what's happening?
Well, if you didn't know, in 2020 there was 388 Chinese flyovers like within the border zone of Taiwan, and they've just been stepping it up this year every single day.
Is it the Chinese flying over?
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Shows of force. Not only that, but they've been populating the South China Sea.
Yeah, they've been building islands.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
of which is actually called Mischief Reef.
Mischief Reef.
Yeah, like they're not even trying to hide what they're trying to do.
Yeah, they stepped it up, man. At first, it was just the military and some like construction workers going in and dumping a bunch of sand. But now they're locating Chinese citizens on these islands to fully claim them as Chinese land. You know?
Well, like there's one part of the South China Sea which is simultaneously claimed by 7 different countries.
Oh yeah.
Like this one little point where it's like Brunei, Indonesia, the Philippines, China, Japan, like 7 different countries in the region all claim this spot of just deep ocean.
Dude, looking at the claim maps in between all those Asian nations, it is hilarious to see what they think is theirs within the South China Sea.
Yeah.
Like China just swoops all the way down
The
and grabs
9-dash
everyone.
line. Yeah.
And then like the Philippines comes out of nowhere and just claims all the water off the coast of like Vietnam, and you're like, what the hell is this?
And my favorite claim is Brunei's, though. Brunei is just like, it's like 100 nautical miles off their shore, but Brunei is like this tiny little country with this giant jetting, very phallic looking claim of the South China Sea.
It's crazy, man, because there's been new changes to the way the international law system allows you to claim lands. Because you have the immediate area outside of your territory, like 20 miles off the coast, and then for another 150, I think, you have access to the resources underneath, but you're not allowed to develop on top. So all these different Asian countries, as they're locating, like oil or other resources in the South China Sea, they keep expanding.
And it was at that very moment that our podcast laptop died. Hey folks, Cameron McCain here, the editor, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm hoping you'll join us for another one. You can reach us at theirrelevancepodcast@gmail.com. Thank you, and have a good day.